Mike Lombardi, former NFL executive, was on the Pat McAfee show talking about the Browns and Baker Mayfield's situation.
If I was at the Browns, I would say, look, we know who Baker is. We got to run the right screen. We got to run the right system for him. We know his limitations. He was hurt last year, had a better year 2 years ago. But unless we can replace him, why are we getting rid of him? Like, who's better than him that we're going to get right now? It's hard. I mean, Kevin Colbert was saying the same thing about Mason Rudolph. And he's only played in 6 games. It's like, until we get somebody better, and I don't know how I'm going to get somebody better, he's the guy. And so that, to me, would be the approach I would take with Mayfield. I wouldn't extend him. The worst thing they can do is extend him on hope and circumstances as opposed to knowing. I would just pick up the 5th year. You play it out. Let's move forward. We'll keep making the team better around you. And when we get to next year, we get to next year and see where you are. But I would also think about drafting a quarterback. I think the Raiders and the Browns last year in the draft should have drafted a quarterback, partly because they knew this problem was coming up. What are they going to do with Derek Carr? I think what they should do with Derek Carr is extend him. Whatever it is, extend him out. So Josh McDaniels has 2 years to work with Carr to find out what he really has in him to see if he wants to go forward. I think that's the same thing they should do with Mayfield.
Let's welcome in Jeff Phelps, 92.3 The Fan, as well as Bally Sports. And Jeff, I can't really argue with anything Mike Lombardi said. It makes sense.
It does make sense. The only thing I'd say, Dave, is should you look for somebody better? Yeah, you probably should. And that's, you should be doing that with all of your positions. But if you have quarterbacks, questions at quarterback, you must try to improve the situation. And I wonder, and it all comes down to talent evaluation. Do the Browns' deep thinkers think that any of the free agents might be better? Do they think anybody in the draft could be better right away? I doubt that that's the case. Or do they think they can trade for somebody who's an improvement? If they do, they must do it. You've got a team that you think is built to win now, so you better try and win now.
And again, it's the 5th year for Baker Mayfield. He's not going to miraculously ascend, into one of the top 10 quarterbacks, but he doesn't necessarily have to, does he?
Oh, how far do you want to go? Do you want to be pretty good and have him become Kirk Cousins? Okay. That's the thing. Take a look at those, and we all know the teams that went deep have pretty darn good quarterbacks. And that's the question. And I keep going back to, Dave, that teams aren't showing the patience necessarily that they have in the past with some of these quarterbacks. Jameis Winston, Jared Goff, Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota, we've Jameis Winston. We've seen a lot of these guys, where the teams decide to move on. Here's the other thing. If they think they can improve quarterback this year, then you have to do it. And the reason I say that, because if you go into this year with questions surrounding quarterback and you decide that the answer is not Baker, well, then where are you next year? Are you looking for the rookie quarterback next year to come in? And is a rookie quarterback going to be ready to take advantage of what we think is a window of opportunity with this team before you have to retool a lot of other things? So though I agree with Mike completely, actually, on the unless you find somebody better, why wouldn't you roll with Baker Mayfield? However, I'd really be looking for somebody better.